Welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to talk about a common issue which I see regularly on the lesson tee and also the golf course, and it relates to low point control. Essentially what that means is where the club reaches its lowest point relative to where the golf ball is located. And many people who struggle with iron placement, your 7 iron is going as far as your 9 iron. Please tune in to this golf drill that's going to help you create a little bit more consistency. What we see on a regular basis, people that struggle with thins, weights on the right side, our body mass is behind the golf ball. Essentially what happens when we do that is the leading edge is going to start to rise off the ground. And what you'll start to see is when we go from address into impact, we get into this position where the grip end of the club is pointing in conjunction relative to my right hip. And we create a very weak impact position where we add lots of loft, the knuckles on the left hand point towards the sky, and lots of loft to impact. A lot of golfers who struggle with a backswing, as they come into impact, their left hip is going to start to rise away from the wall, and as you can see, that gap starts to emerge. If you're this golfer, I want you to think about where the position of your chest is in correlation with the golf ball. So if you swing the club to the top of the backswing, and your left shoulder starts to go up too early, your chest falls back the way, and as your chest stays in a square position towards the golf ball. It's a really good drill that you can use. Just place your left hip close to the wall. If you swing the club back and your body weight gets too far behind the golf ball, you start to see that gap between your left hip and the wall starts to increase. What we want to do as we come into the downswing, we want to almost feel like our left hip is going to collide with the wall. So slight gap at address, get to the top of the backswing, that gap's going to increase. The left hip's going to go down, right hip's going to go up and back. As you can see from there, my pelvis is going to rotate to the right in the backswing. Then as I come back into the downswing, where many people struggle, that left hip's going to go up and back a little bit too early. My chest is going to stay in a square position behind the golf ball, and we get an impact position where we're going to release all those angles relatively early. As we swing the club back, don't let your left hip elevate too soon. Chest falls back, left shoulder was up too early. It's going to collide with the ground 2 or 3 inches behind the golf. My left knee's moving closer to my right knee, and I feel like my right hip's going to go up and back, so my pelvis is rotating to the right. From there, it's going to feel like your weight's going to transfer a little bit more into your left side at the top of the backswing. That's just a natural feeling. Then as we come back into the downswing, my left hip's going to move laterally, so my left hip's going to reconnect itself with the wall. My hand's going to go a little bit more ahead, my weight's going to transfer back to my left side. I have to move laterally first, then start to rotate towards the target. When people struggle with their impact issues, we go from address into impact. The grip end of the club goes back the way, we add lots of loft. I want to flip that instead. As we come into impact, the grip end of the club is going to get to the wall before the club head, allowing my left hip to move a little bit closer to the wall. I'm going to feel like my chest covers the golf ball a little bit more in transition, so chest down, left hip stays down. And then as we come into impact, the grip end of the club is going to reach the wall first compared to where the club head is. Don't let your head fall back at impact. Your right shoulder stays behind the golf ball and all your weight stays on this back foot. Your right foot stays planted on the ground. What we want to feel like we're doing from there, as we get to the top, trying to feel like your right knee moves closer to your left knee. You're trying to feel like your right hip and right shoulder head of the golf ball. So right shoulder, right hip and right knee. Past the golf ball impact, another great drill you can use. Place the club head quite close to your right shoulder. As we get into impact, I'm going to allow the right shoulder, right hip and right knee to move past the golf ball. That's going to enable my chest to face the target, and it's also going to enable my weight transfer onto the left foot. So think right shoulder, right hip past the golf ball. That's going to allow my right foot to start rolling in, so my knee is going to get ahead of my right foot, and that's going to enable everything to face forward. My pelvis is rotating to the right, my left hip's going down, right hip's going back. Extend your arms to the top of the back, so then as I come down into impact, you're going to allow your left hip to reconnect itself with the wall. So the grip end of the club is going to contact the wall before the club head. So grip end of the club is always leading club head, hands at the head. I'm turning the loft down, hands at the head, grip end of the club's inside left leg, and I'm de-lofting the club coming into impact. And that's going to enable me to create ball turf contact that everyone wants to achieve. Struggling with your impact position, there's 2 great indoor drills that you can utilise and implement within your practice. Using the wall drill, swing the club back. As you come into impact, let the grip end of the club reach the wall before the club head. If you're somebody that gets club face really open, knuckles are pointing up towards the sky, you're rotating the knuckles of your left hand down towards the ground. rehearse your impact position, grip end of the club is going to connect to the wall before the club head. Right shoulder, right hip, past the golf ball at impact. The drill you can use, place the club head quite close to right shoulder, swing the club back, right shoulder disappears in the backswing, back into impact, right shoulder and hit past the golf ball. That's going to transfer your way onto your left side, and it's also going to enable you to create ball turf contact.